Welcome, welcome, everybody, to another installment in our saga in Black Skin, Black Shirt, the redo. This is a game by Madison, solitaire war game about the Second Italo-Ethiopian War, 1935 to 37, using basically states of siege mechanic with some twists. We've played already turns 1 through 7. Now we go through the turns 8 through 14. And we have in the chat today the one and only Bend Over. Welcome. And we got Peter, Evil Overlord Hansen. So Denmark is in the house, even at least for a while. And we have Daniel Mader from Salt Lake City. Welcome. And let's take a look at the situation that we left off before. And this is the map as it is right now. We have all 4 Italian armies on the map, and worse yet, all 4 Italian poison-carrying planes also on the map. Here in the south, we have both armies ahead of their fascist rule markers, which means that we can attack, but they are supported by the gas-carrying planes. The scary part is that they are 2 moves from Addis Ababa, and in this game, once Addis falls, the instant an army gets into Addis falls. It's not like some other states of siege games that we have a turn to get it back. And this is the situation in the north. Both armies are 3 moves away, but they are in Rocafort, meaning we can't attack the armies directly. We have to attack the fascist rule markers first. And that consumes a lot of resources, and resources is something that we just don't have much of. More concerning is that these 2 events have not happened yet. We had the fast column C and D happen, but A and B have not happened. And concerning even more is a fast column event by the army in track B. That first corps has a strength of 4. We would have to roll 5 or 6 to cancel the advance, and that is definitely worrisome. And we also have today St. Louis. Keith, welcome. And more information about the situation that we left off before is that in this turn, we are going to receive the Emperor back. That is good news. We're also going to receive Ras Imru, who was successful in his attack in track A, and the partisans in track A. And we most likely will exile Haile Selassie this turn. As you know, if the Italians enter Addis and Haile Selassie is in the royal tent or in the calendar, meaning in Addis we lose the game. There's 3 diplomats in the Geneva box. That means there's 3 in the unused diplomat box. We have our Ethiopian Air Force unit in the Imperial tent, together with one of the partisans, and Ras Mulugeta, one of the Rases. All 4 of our Rases are still alive. There's 2 of them that are in the calendar. So that is the situation at the beginning of the game. So we will start right away. And now we go to the next turn, which is turn 8, late March 1936. And the first phase of the game, of course, is one where we draw a chit. So draw our first chit. And this is one of those special codes. Slowest advance. Interesting. So this will take precedence over any other of the chits. And we place it in the box for turn 8. And we do have to deploy units from the current turn box. We have the Emperor, partisans, and Ras Imru. So we place the emperor here in the imperial tent together with partisan and Ras Imru. Now there is no red event this turn, right? No red event. Nope. So we'll go to the next phase. The next phase, Berhanina Selam, light and peace phase. Now, there's one thing in the rules that I think needs fixing, and the developer in Board Game Geek commented on that. You know that there's one event, which is this one, Yayo of Sardo, that can come up now when we roll for political events, and this blocks the rail line that goes from Addis to Djibouti here. And by blocking the rail line, it would prevent the emperor from going into exile. The way the game is structured, however, makes that card useless, because in the rules it states that you roll for the events, and before implementing the events, you decide if you're going to exile the emperor. So if we roll for the event and get this event, or get like a fast column event, and we have this column about to move, we can exile the emperor right away. So I think they have to work that out. In any event, we're going to exile Haile Selassie right now. Doesn't matter what the event is going to be rolled. So we place Haile Selassie, who's here. I'm going to place him in the exile box. And that prevents us from losing the game in case any army reaches Addis Ababa and he is in the imperial tent. So let's roll for military events. Bring the table, and we add now, we're in turn 8. So we add 8 to the die roll. It is a 4, so that's a 12. Eagle and Condor. So Eagle and Condor is one of our events that pretty interesting. We place a +1 to the F box. The F box is skies above Ethiopia. So every time we attack an army supported by a plane, the die that pertains to the plane is going to get a +1, making it easier for the plane to have to land. And if we use our Ehrlichon guns, it gets destroyed. So that is the military event. So now we go to the political event, and we bring in the table, and we roll 1d6 and add 8. And it is a 1. So that is 8 + 1, 9. Got a fast column. That's going to be 9. Let's take a look at everything that happens in 9. We have fast column C. Let's take a look at all of them first, and then we'll resolve them. Arabignoc, which already happened, so it doesn't apply again. Eritrean mutiny, which is good. We can flip an Italian army. Radio spoofing, meaning we can't use a RAS this turn. And also you reduce Ethiopia's treasury to 0. So we lose those $2. And Red Cross has already happened. And Duce has already happened. So we go to fast column C. And see, fast column is that event that if it would have captured, if it captures Dire Dawa and the emperor would have been in the tent, he's trapped. So we start by, in fast columns, we advance the army and we roll an unmodified die roll. We have to roll higher than the army's value. If not, the army moves again and we repeat until we defeat the army or the army reaches Addis Ababa, whatever happens first. So Addis can fall right now if we have bad luck. And boy, we've had enough of that. So let's move the army, and the army moves to Dire Dawa. And now we roll a die, 1d6, and we have to roll higher than 3. And we rolled a 3. So that is not good enough, but we have something that we can use here. The Kebur Sabanya. This is that bonus. We have 2 points of that. We would use 1 point. The question is, can we use it for fast columns? I think so. Let me quickly check here. Kebur Sabanya. Okay, 1 to the die roll. If an attack die roll ties the army being attacked, you can reduce it. This is an attack. It's just, yep. And thus win the battle. So we tied. Okay, so we use 1 point of Kebur Sabanya. So that means that we only have 1 point left. And the Kebur Sabanya total now is reduced by 1. We only have 1. And that defeats that fast column. So that means that that column goes back to Harar, but it is not flipped, meaning that it can move again. Well, it can't move again this turn because the chit that we flipped doesn't have a movement code. And Brian is here. You made it. We just started. And also St. Louis Keith is here. Yeah. Okay. So that was the fast column C, and now that means that fast column C cannot happen again. So I'm taking that event out of the mix. See if I can find it. Oh, here it is. Oh, wait a second. That event doesn't happen anyway. Fast column C had happened before. That is fast column C. Let's ignore all this. Sorry about that, guys. So we got our Kebur Sabanya point back. Fast column C had already happened. We get our point back. That is, fast columns A and B haven't happened, but fast column C had happened. So you just got an explanation of how fast columns work. So that's fast column C. Next is Arbenyuk. It doesn't apply. And we have Paul Aceto with us. Paul. Yes, it is AOI, Africa Orientale Italiana. Thank you. And Arbenyuk doesn't apply because it's already in effect. It can only occur once. This one will apply. We can flip any one Italian army at this time. An Italian army that is flipped cannot move. Huh. We'd like to flip all 4, but we can't. See, the chit that we have this turn is slowest advance. What that means is the slowest army is advanced. That is, the armies that are furthest from Addis. And if they're tied, if there's 2 that are tied, they both advance. It's brutal. This one is just that an army flips this event. So right now, the 2 armies in the north are the slowest. So I guess I should flip one of those because those are going to advance. Those are going to advance, but none of them are going to attack. Actually, none of... We don't want two armies to advance, but that's what's going to happen. Two armies are going to advance because there's going to be a tie. If I flip this one, he's still going to advance. Slowest army advances. Let me see if he's flipped, does he advance? That's a question. Slowest army advances. Any Italian army furthest away from Madison advances one space. If tied, it doesn't say if flipped or not, they advance. They advance anyway, man. So those two northern armies are going to advance. So which army do I want to flip? Okay, let's flip number 4. Here. We'll flip this army. Okay, so that is the mutiny. What else comes after that? Radio spoofing. No RAS may be committed this turn. Okay, I'm going to put a card on the board just to remind myself. Place it over here. And the Red Cross is in effect. It's a one-time only event, so that's that. The Duce is also into effect. So those are the political events. Now we go to the next phase, the Avanti phase. Now there's no movement by armies because the chit has one of the special codes. I have here a depiction of the special codes, which says, slowest Italian army advances furthest away. If tied, one or more, they advance. So the slowest armies are these two. So these armies advance now. Army A advances into Debre Marcos, and Army B into Desi. Okay, so that's that. There's no Italian plane to deploy. They're all deployed, and no diplomat because the chit has no briefcase symbol. Additional Duce moves does not apply. Okay, the additional Duce moves does not apply for this turn because these are different. Now, if in the next turn, the rule changes when you have a special code in the turn before, but not now. Right now, there's no Duce move. So now we roll dice to receive resources. There's 3 diplomats. Here we go. Roll is a 2. Okay, so there's no sanctions, but we receive only 2. We got $4. And I think one of the events, wait a second. One of the events, yes, we lose. We only have 2 actually. Because this radio spoofing event here reduces Ethiopia treasury to 0. So we only have 2 actually. We only have 2 Maria Teresa dollars, which is really very sad. Okay, we go to the next phase. This is where we do our actions. Attack armies. We can't use the races. The Ehrlichons, we use them when we attack an army that has poison-carrying planes. That's when we use the Ehrlichons. And we have a free attack by the Red Cross. That's in any track that the Red Cross is in, Red Cross Hospital, we have a free attack. We'll do that now because we may use the Ehrlichon there. Notice that plane has a strength of 3, so the strength of the plane is equal to the strength of the army. But you roll 2 dice, and the lower total is the one you apply compared to the army. That represents the effect of the poison gas. A lower total. Higher total is the one you compare as to the planes. So let's do the Red Cross. And by the way, the Red Cross, you don't remove it if the Italians occupy its space, because the Red Cross is assumed to be in the track, different from the partisans. Okay, so let's do the Red Cross attack. We don't spend any money for that. We will bring our Ehrlichon. So I did this marker to denote that we will be using the Ehrlichon. So I have to deduct an Ehrlichon point. So we have now 5 left. Now we roll 2 dice. Compare the lowest to the army and the highest to the plane. Ah, this was very good. Very good for the plane. The army we did not defeat because we don't have a total higher than 3 unless we burn a Quebur Sebanya, which I'm inclined to do. I don't want Addis to fall so quick. So we're going to burn actually, we have both points of Quebur Sebanya. So we're going to burn 1 point. This is the Imperial Guard. We're going to burn 1 point, because in cases of ties, it breaks the tie. So now we have 1 point of Quebur Sebanya. We defeat the army. It's like a 4-6, and we defeat the plane. So the plane is gone. And we remove the plane, and we place it in the skies above. Actually, we beat the plane by even more because we had a +1 here. I forgot that. So we had a +1 because of the skies above. So, but we destroyed the plane instead of just landing it on its base because we used the Ehrlichon. So we spent one of our 6 Ehrlichons, and the army moves back to Gondar. But it is inverted, meaning we can't attack it again. We already used our Red Cross. So we spent our Red Cross. Still got our 2 meager dollars left. If we're lucky, we can push those 2 southern armies back. The pity is that the strongest army here is going to advance. We could attack it, but it's really hard to, the lower roll has to be higher than 4. Oh boy, so let's move something that we can defeat. The Emperor's already out, so now we have $2. We can save the $2 to construct partisans, but only in track D. Cost of the partisans is the cost of the track there. But we have chances of defeating the planes, at least. Yeah, but you don't do anything by defeating the planes. I mean, by destroying them, they move back to the box. But by defeating them, if you don't defeat the army... Okay, so... I'm going to save those $2 for next turn. So we'll save those $2 for next turn. A little risky, but let's do it. You want to build partisans or anything else. So here we go to the turn end phase. We can build partisans. We can build a partisan unit there in this space here, or wait till next turn and build a partisan unit back here. I think we'll need the partisan back here unless this army advances into into Addis. I'm not gonna, I'll save, I'll bank the partisans, move the Red Cross Hospital. Okay, I'm gonna move it here to B. Advanced fascist rule. Okay, the fascist rule marker can't be ahead of the army. The army is here. So the fascist rule marker moves to Desi, and they are adjacent to Addis Ababa. Yes, the radio event took the $2. Took the $2 I had originally, but then I rolled in the Chitet phase and got $2 more. Yeah. And those are the $2 I haven't spent. I haven't spent those $2 yet. I attacked with the Red Cross. And let's see. And we have the fascist we have the fascist rule markers advancing in the south. Closing in. Now we have on flipment. We flip the second corps. We flip the Italian first corps here. Okay. And that's the end of this turn. Not stellar, but it's getting tight. So let's go to the next turn. Turn 9. Early April 1936. We go to the next phase. Random chit draw. At least we get a partisan. The partisans, you got to spend money to put them on the board. Ooh, this is a busy chit, and C is going to be moving here. So let's take a picture. Replace this marker here. We go to the next step. We deploy the units. We bring this partisan to the tent. There's no events. And we go to the phase now, the events, military events. Let's bring in the table. This time, we're in turn 9. So we add 9 to the die roll. And it is a 2-11 Eagle versus Condor again. I didn't take out them. So that is the same event here that allows us to place a +1 in space E. I got the marker here. It's good for attacks against the aircraft. Now we go to the political events. And we add 9 to the die roll. Let's see. 2. 11-12. Okay. See the events in 11-12. Arbenioc, that is already in effect. Rumors. This is one of those events I like. We're going to be able to flip a fascist rule or plane tie. Okay, the other one's going to be tanks. This is bad. We've got to roll to see where it appears. And Yayov Sardo, he is moot because the emperor already ran away and the Duce is in effect. So let's go with rumors because Arbenioc is already into effect. Flip any fascist rule or plane tile. If we flip a plane tile, the fascist rule marker can still advance. And in this particular turn, we see an advance by C. And what I talked to you about is that in the previous turn, okay, as to Duce events, we have to roll a die to see if this is a briefcase, in which case a diplomat will move. But so the only movement that we will see is C. C is the only army that would move. If we flip the fascist rule marker, it won't advance. So let me see one more thing. Flip the fascist rule marker. It doesn't advance. Yeah. The plane will still be able to provide, but we don't want that army. We don't want the that army advancing. So we will flip the fascist marker here in D. Oh wait, no. This is D. C is the army that is advancing this turn. C is this one. Okay. We will flip the fascist rule marker there. Okay. That is that event. Tanks. Italian tanks lumber into the battle. Now this tank gives the Italians a layer. Like when you defeat an army, you have to defeat the tanks first, and then another attack against the army. This is a pretty bad event for us. But we roll a die. On a 1, it goes to A, B, 2B, 3C, 4D, and a state of there 5 or 6 goes to B. So there's a big chance it's going to the strongest army, which is B. So we roll 1d6, and it goes to 4. It goes to D. Interesting. So Graziani has the tanks. Historically, Graziani was pissed that he wasn't getting many tanks. He was set to like a defensive position. Okay, so that's that event. Gallo of Sardo doesn't apply, and Duce is in effect. So those were actually the political events. Now move Italian armies on paths A, B, C, D, depending on the chit. We have movements by the army in C. Okay. So the army in C moves to Dire Dawa. Lay flat there. There you go. And we go to the next step. Deploy the strongest Italian plane. There is a plane. So the plane that is here in the skies above gets deployed, and it is the plane or track A. So it gets placed there. It didn't last too long. Now we go to the next step. Deploy the strongest unflipped diplomat. Is there a briefcase? Yes. So the strongest unflipped diplomat is Mexico. So the Mexican diplomat is placed in the diplomat box. Now we can only store $2. Okay. Next, additional Duce moves. This is the situation I was talking to you about. So here we see we have a briefcase here. You always check this icon against the icon here, but the rules state that when the event here is one of those special codes, you have to roll a die. And on a 1, 2, 3, 4, it's A, B, C, D. On a 5, it's plane. On a 6, it's diplomat. And then only if it's a 6 does the additional move become actually a diplomat. So let's roll 1d6. And it's A2, so it's not the same. So there's no additional Duce moves there. Now we roll a die to earn Maria Teresa dollars. If the die roll is higher than the number of diplomats in the unused diplomat box, we get penalized with a -1. So let's roll 1d6. Yes, so it's 5 minus 1, 4. So we get $4. We got a total of 6. Because there's 2 diplomats there, we have to spend 4 because we'll be only able to store turn 2 for the next turn. I think with 6 we can do a couple of things there. Next step is Takawemo. This is where we conduct our actions. And let's see if we can start by... The good thing about the Red Cross Hospital, it gives us a chance to, if we don't destroy that plane, we want to use an Ehrlichon to probably destroy it. Maybe we should, but that one's a tough cookie. That's the highest roll. It's a good chance of destroying the plane, even if we don't push the army back, and then we can do a regular attack, but without the plane. Oh no, we can't attack. We can't attack here. This is a Rocafort. No attacks allowed. We would have to do a... This is not in effect now. To do a... What do you call it? A subvert fascist rule. And let's do that. For that, we have to use our RAS. We have to risk him. We have Ras Mulugeta in the tent. He's the RAS for track B. So we're going to subvert fascist rule. If we are successful, the fascist rule tile moves back, and I'm pretty sure that the plane flips. Retreat the fascist rule one space. Retreat only one. The partisans retreated and flipped the plane. Now, how this works is we roll 1d6. On a 2 through 5, it's successful. 1 or 6, it fails. We could bring, if we wanted to, the Ethiopian Air Force, in which case we roll 2 dice and pick the lower result. But if we obtain a 1 or a 6 and we fail the mission, we lose the Ethiopian Air Force. I'm not going to risk the Ethiopian Air Force. We have all 4 of our RASes. So let's go. We roll 1d6 to see if we can subvert fascist rule. The roll is a 4. Yes, it is successful. So that means that the fascist rule marker goes back 1 space. That's all it means. Succeed if retreated 1 space. And our die roll was a 4, so we have to place Ras Mulugeta 4 turns ahead. Oh, he goes 1, 2, 3, and he comes back in turn 13. So now we can attack the army with the Red Cross Hospital. And we can bring an Ehrlichon, try to destroy that plane, because that's the army that has a great chance of moving in. And well, you got both armies having a great chance, that one and the one in C. But we have enough dollars here. We haven't spent a dollar yet. Okay, so let's do the Red Cross attack, which is free, but we're going to use another Ehrlichon here. So let's bring the Ehrlichon total down. Oops, I brought the dollar total down, sorry. Ehrlichon total down to 4. There you go. We roll 2 dice. Lower die versus the army, higher die versus the plane. And in the rules it says that you move the plane here. The plane is flying there. Okay, so we roll 2d6. Again, 1 and 4. So we don't beat the army. And we don't beat the plane. Oh, wait, we beat the plane. Yes. You know why we beat the plane? Because we have +1 skies above. So that beats the plane. And because we have the Ehrlichon, well, you know what happens? That plane is destroyed. Okay, man, that skies above. This came handy, so we place it here. I totally forgot we had this, to call that event. Man, we still have our 6 points, 4 Ehrlichons left. And we have to flip the red cross. That was the red cross attack. Okay. Now we should do a regular attack. I have Ras Imru, which is in the A track available. I'm not. Let's do a regular attack. We have to roll 5 or 6. And we have 1 point of Kebur Imperial Guard if we want to burn it. Which we may, because that army is super dangerous, that one. Okay, so, but that is if we tie the result. If we tie the result, we bring the Imperial Guard and it breaks the tie, but we only have 1 such point left. So, let's spend one of our dollars. We have to spend a lot because we can only store 2. We're gonna do a regular attack. But you know what? The plane that you see, this is one of the cool things about this game. This plane can provide also, will provide support and will do. So we're going to attack it anyway. So we'll be rolling 2 dice. That plane provides support because it is adjacent. The only units that can fly over boundaries like this are the planes. It's a cool aspect of the design. It sucks because the plane's gonna probably harm us, but it's a cool aspect. So we do a regular attack. We roll 2 dice. We have the +1 because of the skies above, but that +1 only applies to the plane roll, not the army. It means the army. Now, the thing what's most likely to happen is that we fail. The plane gets back. Hopefully the plane will get higher than 3 and the plane will not be committed again. But we have a chance of destroying the plane. Let's do it. Let's burn another Ehrlichon point. We have 3 left. Okay. We roll 2 dice. Let's see what happens. This is important. That army is really scary. So, the plane got blown to pieces. 2 and 7. So we didn't push the army back, but the plane is kaput. And we place the plane in the skies above. It's getting full of Italian planes. Now we used an Ehrlichon point, right? But we're 2 of 2 using Ehrlichon points. So the army doesn't retreat. And now we can make another attack against the army. And now it's just a regular attack. You roll a die. We have to roll higher than 4. And also be aware that we have this here. If we run out of points, these are the Mehal Sefari 4 attacks. But you don't want to burn that quickly. We got $5. We got enough money to push those rascals back. Those are dangerous. So let's burn another dollar here. Regular attack against that first corps. We need higher than 4. Here we go. And a 5. Yes. So that army goes back to Makale, and it is flipped. Can't attack it again. Oh, man. Seems that luck balances itself out. We're doing well. $4 left. We have to address this army here. Dire Dawa. Oh, the fascist rule was pushed back to, oh yes, to Amba Alagi. Yeah, keep on, yep. This is, yep. That's right. Thank you, Brian. Yes, this always confused me. You tend to go like this way, and it's here because the path goes this way. Adigrat, Makale, Amba Alagi, and Desi. Okay, thanks, Brian. Yes, okay. $4 left. Let's go after Diredawa. See let me get this out of the way. The fascist rule marker won't advance no matter what. But you don't want that army in the next turn capturing Addis, right? So we got to push him back. You have to attack him twice if we flip that plane. Okay, so we're going to spend $1 there. Got 3 left. We're going to attack Diredawa. We roll 2 dice. Do we bring the Ehrlichon? We would have 3 left. Let's bring the Ehrlichon again. Now we have 3 left. If I don't bring the Ehrlichon and I defeat the plane, it lands. And that's equally good because that, yeah, we won't bring the Ehrlichons here. We got to save them for later, I suppose. Okay, so here we go. We roll 2d6. And the roll is 2 and 3. We don't push the army back, but we do defeat the plane because we have the skies above. We got the +1 there. Man, that really is a game changer. So what that means is that the attack against the army fails, but the plane flips. Okay. So now we're going to make another attack against that army. Now we got 2 left, but now it's just 1 die roll. We have to roll higher than 3. We may consider using our Imperial Guard point if we roll a tie. So here we go. And it is a 6. So yes, that army goes back to Harar and it is flipped. We managed to push back those 2 armies. The only army that is still a threat is that one. That one is a big threat because of the tank. We got $2 left. And we have here the one and only ID Jester. All is well. I mean, doing better than... yeah, the dice rolling is much better today, meaning that tomorrow is going to suck again. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we got $2 left. We would be able to create partisans back here. And I think we will do that because that army is really most worrisome now. So I'm not going to spend any, we're not going to do any more actions here. Because the Ras we have is a track A Ras. We want to save him for later. Let's see. Yeah, we can we can't attack the Red Cross. Red Cross already attacked. Okay, so that's it. Let's go to the turn end phase. Build Arbenyok. Okay, we're gonna spend our 2 last dollars to build the Arbenyok. And just to show you, we have the available. We have all 4 Arbenyok's here. So the one in D, we build it. And you got to place it in a space that is empty, occupied by the Italians. Place it in Gorrahe here. We'll be able to use him next turn. What was the... It's a briefcase. The Duce move is a briefcase. The most he can do extra for next turn. So... okay, so... banking, nothing to bank. Cancel military event with honors. We get that +1 back, man. That was tremendous. And move Red Cross Hospital. Yes, Red Cross Hospital's here. Gonna move him. Move it here. Advanced fascist rule. It's 27 turns, Jester. We're going by sevens. We're going from 8 to 14 here. So now, advanced fascist rule. There are no fascist rule markers to advance. Happy to report that. On flipment, so now we flip the army and the fascist rule marker here. Track C. Flip the army here in Amba Alagi. Okay, put it together here. There's a Rocafort. There's 4 Rocaforts though. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. So now we go to the next turn. Turn 10, late April 1936. We go to the first phase, which is chit draw phase. There we go. Let's see. A chit here. And got movement on A, B, and C this turn. That's not good. So we place it here. We're going to get Ras Desta back. And we get him back now, deployed to the turnbox, to the tent. We got Ras Desta, who is the D. Ras. Play any red event. There's no red event. We'll have French elections in the next turn. That can move diplomats in either direction. So, exile the emperor, he's gone. We resolve the military events, or event. It's just one event. So let's do that. We bring the table. We add 10. We add 10 now. Here we go. Say 313 unrest in Gojam. So let's see what that is all about. Unrest in Gojam. -1 to all attacks on path A. There's the peasants revolting over there. Okay, so we take our die roll modifier marker and -1 on A. Let's place it here. Ras Desta, yes, he gets a very warm welcome. All our Rases are alive. I hope I didn't jinx them. Okay, so now we go to the political events. Bring in the table and we add 10. 11. Again, this is like the same again. With 11, you get Arbenyak. It's all in effect. But we get rumors. I like that one. Tanks, that you ignore because the tanks are already on the board. Yayo is moot, and the Duce is already into effect. So the only event is rumors. Rumors is a very good event for us. Flip any fascist rule or plain tile in Ethiopia. Well, we know. And we're going to have advances by A, B, C. So I think I will be flipping the fascist rule marker in B because that's the hardest army to defeat. So are the Italians getting planes this turn? No. Yeah, that's the hardest army to defeat. So let's flip the fascist rule marker in B, in Amba Alagi. And as stated before, the other events are ignored for various reasons. We'll go to the next phase. Resolve political events, we did that. Italian Avanti phase, advances in A, B, and C. Okay, let's start with A. And the second corps advances into the Blue Nile. And we have in B now the first corps into Desi. And C, we have the Libyan core, again, into Dire Dawa. Doesn't want to lay flat, this thing. Come on. Okay. Next, Italian plane. No Italian plane in the chit. Deploy strongest on flit diplomat. No. And for those of you who here the first time, the lion on the top left-hand corner is decorative. See, lion over here. So that's that. Make additional Duce moves. There's not going to be a Duce move because this is a C and this is a briefcase. And that's because our Ethiopian Air Force is in the 10th Flying Reconnaissance. That's why we resolve it that way. Okay, Peter, thank you. Denmark is in the house. I appreciate it, Peter. And we have also Francisco Javier Ruiz Gomez. It must be like 2 a.m., no, 1 a.m. over there in Spain. Bienvenido, Francisco. Okay, so we did the Duce moves. Well, there was no Duce move. Now we go to Chitet. Got to do something with the diplomats. Too many over there at Geneva. We roll 1d6. Oh, that doesn't count. I rolled 2 dice. 1d6. Yes, that's good. 6 minus 1 because of the sanctions, because the roll is higher than the number of, but we'll take it. That is a 5. So we had $5, and that's what we have, $5. And with those $5, now we go into Takawemu. We got the Red Cross has a free attack, and we have the partisans. Yeah. The good thing about this army, the Graziani, it's not very impressive. It's a 2, but it takes a lot of resources to push it back. So we will probably have to do the Red Cross first, because the Red Cross is a free attack if the army is supported by poison-carrying planes. And by the way, I can't use races against an army that is supported by what do you call it, a poison-carrying plane. So that's a limitation that races have. With Haile Selassie you could, but not with a ras. Okay. So none of the races could do attacks right now except against that. Yeah, the races could attack the B army. If I had the B ras, I don't have it. I have the A ras. Could attack the A ras. Okay. Those that are supported by poison gas, we can't. Okay. So let's do the Red Cross attack first, which is a free attack. And we roll 2 dice. If we win the ground battle, it just removes the carro armato. Just removes that one. We got William Arends. Yes, we've been doing live streaming this game for a little while. Yes. Welcome, William. So let's see here. Let's get this out of the way. Let's do the Red Cross attack. We roll 2 dice. Not gonna use the Ehrlichons. I gotta save them for later. So roll 2 dice. Oh man. Okay. So we got a 1 against the army. The army fails, but against the plane it succeeds. But because I didn't use the Ehrlichon, it simply flips the plane. So we flip the plane, and that's good because that means that a next attack won't be with poison gas. We still have our $5, and we just used the Red Cross. Okay. We should do an attack there against Graziani. And the good thing about the partisans is that Use the partisans. Let me see here. Against fascist rule or Italian plane. Against fascist rule, it pushes it back, but don't really have the effect on the plane. Graziani was a very poor leader. Yeah, well, in World War II against Libya and against Egypt and against these people, he was, he was ruthless. Okay, so let's spend $1 to make an attack here. Regular attack. Oh, this attack would be supported by gas, though. Why? Because of this plane here. This attack would be supported by gas. It is adjacent. Now, if we defeat that plane, yeah, so we're going to have to make it. We have enough money. We're going to make the attack anyway. But that plane, that's the seaplane. Let's follow the rules. It flies here. And it is supported by that adjacent plane. Boy, these Italians are sneaky. Okay, so let's roll 2d6. Are we going to use Nerlicon? There's 2 planes already out. And the one with a B, which is the most, no. Won't use the Nerlicon. Okay, so we roll 2d6. Ah, this is beautiful. A 5 and a 6. The low roll defeats the tank. So the tank is out of here. Okay, and we place the tank in the counter trade. What happens is that if we get another tank event, it comes back in again. And the 6 defeats the plane, but it doesn't destroy it because we didn't use any early cons. But the plane just flies back to its fascist rule, its base, and it is flipped. And the army was defeated. Oh, wait a second. No, I gotta pull that attack back. I couldn't attack there. I couldn't attack there, and not even with this. I keep forgetting. This is a Rocafort. Let me pull all this back. I'm sorry. Damn it. I keep forgetting. That's a Rocafort. So this is here. Can't attack with the red cross. Okay? Here. No, can't. So I get that dollar back. Let me get that dollar back. Keep forgetting the damn rule. 5. What did I use my first attack? I think I even get the... What was the first one? I think I get my first one back. Let me see, what was the first one? Yeah, I think I get the first. I had 6 or I had 5. I don't remember if I had 6 or 5. I think I had 6. Yeah, well, I get that 5 back. So I got 5. Cannot attack here. We can attack everywhere else because this is a Rocafort. Fascist rule together with Graziani. So that means there's not going to be a Red Cross attack unless we use the partisan to move this back. So we'll have to do that. Use this partisan to do what is called the subvert fascist rule. No, it's spying. It's fascist rule, sabotage, spying. So that we burn the partisan and we place it 2 turns ahead. So we're here, 1, 2. And that moves the fascist rule tile back and it flips the plane. And the armor comes back too. That's right. So now we can do the Red Cross attack. Okay. Excelsior, welcome. Excelsior's in the house. I got my reinforcements here. Okay. So now the Red Cross can do its attack. It's a free attack. But that attack will be supported by gas. And it's by this plane here. But it'll have to do. So that plane flies over here. It's adjacent. I mean, not there, here. It's adjacent also to this area here, you can see. And we roll 2d6. The important thing really is to get that plane flipped because we got money to make more attacks. So let's roll 2d6. Here we go. And the roll is, oh boy, that rocks. 6 and 6. So the army is defeated, but what happens is that the carro armato is removed. So we remove the tank and it goes. And now the army is defeated and the plane also. So the plane returns to its fascist rule counter flipped. If we hadn't used the Ehrlichon, it would have been destroyed. And the army retreats to Negele Borana. And it is flipped. Boy, the Red Cross is rolling. We flipped the Red Cross. We still have our $5. And now this army's looking vulnerable here. Diredawa. We got Desi to attack also. And the thing is, any of those armies that advances in the next turn, Addis falls instantly. But we have our extra attacks. We have up to 4, I mean. So let's... We want to build our Arbenioks too. We got A and D. So I don't want to spend a lot of money. Maybe I should spend one of those extra attacks now. Yeah. Well, I can spend a 5. Let me see. Partisan here is 3. A partisan here is 4. Would like to make that 4 partisan. Well, let's spend that 5 at number 5. So we got 4 left. And we're going to attack Dire Dawa here. Regular attack. And we need higher than 3. So here we go. Yes! A 5. So it goes back to Harar. Wow. And flipped. We still have $4. And our sights are on Desi. Okay, Desi does not have air support. I'd like to keep those $4. So I'm going to burn one of these points here. Mehal Sefari attack. I'm going to burn one of those points. So I have 3 there left. I can build a partisan if it's successful. So let me take one of those Cephal points off. 3 left. Now we have an attack against the First Corps in Desi. We have also available a Kebur Sabanya point. If it's a tie, we can use it to beat it. There's not going to be an advance by the fascist rule marker there because it is inverted. But we want to push it back. So here we go. We attack the First Corps. And a 5. Yes! Wow. Goes back to Amba Alagi. Boy, this was like Adowa all over again. Incredible. Yes, as Brian has put it, a significant victory for Ethiopia. Okay, folks, I'm going to leave the game there. See you. Okay, so yes, I don't think, let me see, I don't think we're going to do anything else here. We don't want to use any more points. Now, diplomats, I'm not going to use a point to influence them because I can't build that Arbenioc in that B space. So we go to the next step, build Arbenioc. And we have our B Arbenioc here, our partisan B, and we have to spend 4. So we are left with no money, but the Arbeniocs, oh, those, you should have been here to the last time. It was just awful. Okay, so we placed the B here in the space back here, Adigrat. So we have the partisans for the next turn available. Banking, nothing to bank. Cancel the military event. The military event was in A, so it's canceled. Move the Red Cross. Red Cross is here. Where do we want to move the Red Cross? Well, B is still 2 areas away, still the toughest. So, I guess we're going to move it here to B. Advanced fascist rule. There is one fascist rule advance, though, in A. I could have used the Ras there, but I didn't. So the fascist rule advances into the Blue Nile, even though it doesn't have a plane. Well, I don't have the Ras there. Well, I have the Ras. I'll probably use the Ras. There's no more fascist rule. So let's unflip here in track D. And flip here in track C. And flip in track B. Oh boy. There you go. So that's the end of this turn. Got what? Going now to, what is this? Turn 11 coming up. We have the French elections. Voila. So let's see. Random chit draw. French elections coming up. And the chit is, ooh, got a plane there. Man, they're so hard to destroy. They come back so easily. There we go. Replace this chit here. Turn 11, and we have the French election. There are no units to deploy, but we do have a red event, the French election. So let's take a look at the events that have happened. Turn 4, 7, and we have now the French elections. So depending on the die roll, we will have, in the red means diplomats leaving Geneva, and in the blue, which is the most likely event, 4 to 6, more diplomats going to Geneva. So we roll 1d6. Republican Federation victory. Add 2 diplomats. Man, that sucks. And that's all there was. So we add those 2 diplomats to Geneva. So right now, everybody's in Geneva. Means we can't save any money unless we bring diplomats from Geneva. That costs money that we can't use for attacks. So that's that. Now we go and resolve the military event. We're in turn 11. Okay, so let's bring the table. We add 11 plus 5, 16. Rhineland crisis. Rhineland crisis. Let's see what that's about. Military events. There it is. -1 to all attacks on space. F, that's Geneva. Okay, so we take this. I guess we're not saving any money this turn. So -1 there. Now we go to the next phase. Resolve political events. We bring the table and we get the military event out of the way. Okay, political events. We rolled 1d6 and add 11. That's a 15. Okay, 15. Let's see what's on 15. We got black churches. That gives us $1. Black shirts. That's a good event for us. Tank. So the tank is coming back. Those are the events. So we start with black churches and we earn $1. So now we got $1. Next event, black shirts. We may place the black shirt tile on any Italian or Africa Orientale army. Well, Africa Orientale army is not here yet. If we attack that army and don't like the die roll affecting the army, we can roll a second die to replace it. But after that die roll, we return the black shirt to the counter tray. And the roll never affects a plane, only the army. Okay. So let's, here is the black shirts. I guess the black shirts, who's going to advance this turn? Let's see, the B and C. I think we'll need it against more B than C. We have $1, though. We have a free Red Cross attack. Yeah, I think we'll still need it more against B. B has the biggest chance of getting the tank, too, which makes it a pain in the ass to push back. So we'll place the black shirt there in B. So let's see how that comes about. Next event. Tanks. So now we roll to see where that tank appears. It's a 2 in B. So much for that, huh? Here's the tank, and we place it here in B. Pretty busy. And that's all the political events. Now we move Italian armies. Avanti. Let's take a look. Let me get that die roll out of there. B and C. Okay, so we move the Italian army and the carro armato to B. And C also advances into Dire Dawa once again. It's a good thing that A and B don't have planes. Okay, next step. Strongest Italian plane. Yes, there's a plane. The shit has a plane. So the strongest Italian plane, you guessed it, it's the one for B. So now B has a plane. And we place it here in its fascist rule base. So much for that. Now, strongest and flip diplomat, they're all in Geneva, so it doesn't matter. I think they were going to receive a diplomat anyway. There was a diplomat, yeah. So that's that. And now we do additional Duce moves. Are there any Duce moves? No, because it's briefcase versus briefcase and letter C, so they're not the same. No Duce moves. We go to the next phase. Maria Teresa dollars. We're going to get penalized no matter what. It's going to be -1, so I'd rather be a high number. Let's see, what did we roll? A 6, man. You couldn't ask for a better number than that. So we get $5. And that with the one that we had left is, did we have one left? Yeah, we had one left. So that's a 6. Okay. So that's Maria Teresa. Takawemu. We got to spend all 6. Okay. We have the Ras here. Or A. Start with the free Red Cross attack. And Cardboard Commander is here. Welcome, Jerry. The Red Cross attack. This is here with the black shirts. Black shirts is here. The Red Cross, that is supported by gas, that attack. But if I attack here, this is the cool thing we can do. Nah, here. The way the rules read is that poison gas planes will support, let me see here. Drops poison gas on your troop. Yeah. Regia Aeronautica. A plane providing air support flies to the same space as the army under attack. Okay. Yep. So yeah, it would be the C. I was thinking, okay, the strongest plane goes to the rescue. No, if it's he goes to his army first. Would be this one first. Okay, let's do the Red Cross attack first. And there's gonna be air support by the poison gas plane there. The question is, do we use an Ehrlichon? It would be nice to shoot that sucker down. So let's use an Ehrlichon point. So we got 2 left. We're running out of Ehrlichons. Let's see if we can shoot that guy down. If we succeed against the army, we only remove the tank. And we can always use the black shirts, but I don't like to re-roll the army. That's the lower one anyway. No, it says we can re-roll the 1 die. Yeah, we may use the black shirts. Okay, here we go. So we roll 2d6. Here we go. 5 and 6. You're kicking ass here. Okay, so the 5 defeats the army. And the plane is defeated too. So the tank is gone. And returns to the counter tray. And because we use the Ehrlichon, the plane is also gone. And it goes to the skies above. We didn't have to use the black shirts event. And now, see, now the army retreats to Amba Alagi and it is inverted. It retreats with the black shirts. Man, the Red Cross. And we got 2 Ehrlichon points. The Ehrlichons have been deadly. And we still have our $6. We have the ras for A and D available. And next turn, we get a ras and a partisan. We didn't even have to use the partisan in B. That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, we got to attack the C plane, this one here. Too close for comfort. Let's make a regular attack there. So let's spend one of our dollars. And no, I'm not going to use the Ehrlichon. I got to save it for later. So we roll 2d6. Here we go. What's going on today? I got to say it's fixed. The way you're rolling leads to questions. Who are you and what did you do? Yeah, this is, yeah. I don't know, but I'll take it. So the army retreats and the plane is flipped. So the army retreats to Harar. It is flipped. And the plane is also flipped. We still have 5. The thing is, we got to spend the $5 because there's no unused diplomats. We can purchase partisans. We got C and A. C is 3 and A is 3. So that means we can spend $2 more dollars. Let's see if we can do something here. Here is a Rocafort. We would have to push back fascist rule. And we have the man to do that. From the imperial tent in the Ethiopian corner, Ras Imru. He comes to push back the Italians in the Blue Nile. And as you can see here, this is what we are looking at. Commit a ras to subvert fascist rule. I'm not gonna commit the Ethiopian Air Force here. If our 6 is rolled, he's killed in action. We'll take that risk. We need a 2, 3, 4, or 5 for success. And if we succeed, it moves back that fascist rule tile and we can attack the army. So here we go. And it is a 2, yes. So fascist rule goes back to Gondar. And now we place Ras Imru 2 boxes in front. 1, and we'll return in turn 13. And now we can attack that army there. And we have $1. We actually attack, make up to 2 attacks. So let's burn that $1. $4 left. We need higher than 3. We roll 1d6 and a 5. So that is inverted and retreats to Gondar. Man, this is incredible. Got $4 left. We got to spend 1 more, and we'll build partisans either in A or in C. So I guess we're going to here. Oh, we got a -1 here. So we got to roll. We got to roll even for the Russian. We're going to try to bring the Russian diplomat. So we're going to spend $1. That leaves us with 3, and with 3 we purchase a partisan. We roll 1d6, and there's a -1. So let's see. 4 minus 1, 3. So yes, the Russian diplomat has the whole fret dorm for himself there. Okay, little by little. Okay, so that is our Takawemu phase. Now we go to the turn-end phase. Build Arbenyok. Okay, we can build the Arbenyoks for C and A. As you can see here, C and A. See, A is in Gondar. That's 3 spaces away. And there's a Rocafort there. But C is too close for comfort. So it's going to be C. So we place our Arbenyuk here. Gerlogubi it is, and we spend our $3. So we got no money. Nothing to bank. Cancel the military event. That's this event here. We cancel it. And move the Red Cross Hospital. Red Cross is here. B is 2 spaces away, and B is B. That's the toughest army. I think we got to leave it there. I'm going to leave the Red Cross there. Advance fascist rule. I don't think there's any fascist rule advance. None here. None here. No fascist rule advance. Incredible. On flipment, so we start flipping. Flip A, Army A, the Army in B, C. Wow, that was great. That was a tremendous turn. Tremendous 2 turns, actually. That's the end of the turn. So we move to the next turn. Turn 12. So we still have 12, 13, and 14 to go, right? Yeah. Man, this is going slow. I thought it was going to go quicker, but you got to think in these games. Pete Rickson from Down Under. Welcome, Pete. Yeah, you missed like the Ethiopian blitzkrieg. 2 turns. Ethiopians were just rolling up the Italians. Let's see if I can keep it up. Random chit draw. Here we go. Going now to turn 12. And turn 12. And here is another busy chit. Okay, so it's going to be B and C. We place it here in turn 12. And there are units to deploy from the turn box. You get Rasnasibu and the Arbenyuk for D. And Rasnasibu is, the C. So we place him in here's the Imperial tent. We got 2 Rases there and 2 partisans to place. Go to the next step. It's okay, Pete. It's all recorded because nobody will believe me. Okay, red event, no event this turn. Now we go to the military event. So let's bring in the military table, and we add 12 this time. Here we go. 17. 17 is Badoglio. Man, this one really sucks. -1 to all attacks on B. Marshal Badoglio is in town. Man, that came in the nick of time for the Italians. Wow, that was incredible. Fortunately, they don't have the tanks, but now would have to roll a 6 now to push them back. Okay, so that was the military event. Now we go to the political events. And let's bring the table, and we add 12. And that is a 15. Black churches, black shirts, and tanks again. Okay, so that is 12. Let's get the table out. We got, wait, that's not 12. Wait a second. It was black churches. It was 12. The result was Let me get it here. Black churches, black shirts, and tanks. It was 15. Yes. 15. Let me get the right one. 15. Here we are. Oh, okay. Black churches. Okay, so we get $1. And that's what we have. $1. Next. Black shirts. Well, black shirts is already in play. And tanks. So we roll to see who gets the tanks. And it is 6 by the B. This is Panzer Group Badoglio here. Man, that's a killer stack right there. That's that. Man. Italian Avanti phase. So let's check and see. Advances in B and C. Things are starting to get nasty here. So we got advances by B. Here you go. And the black shirts, we put them together here. Okay. And let's put the -1 here because it's going to apply too. And now we go C. Uh-oh. C is also advancing into Diredawa. And they have poison gas. But that was just move Italian armies. Anything else? Deploy the strongest Italian plane. Are there any? I think no. There's a briefcase. Okay, can't complain. So deploy the strongest unflipped diplomat. There's only one, the Soviet diplomat. So he gets deployed to Geneva, and there's everybody there. Now we go to the next, make additional Duce moves. And Duce. They don't match. B and a suitcase. For those arriving late here, for a Duce move, this has to be the same icon here. And it's not. Okay. Well, that was that. Now we go to the next. Phase cheated. We're gonna get sanctioned here because the house is empty. We roll 1d6 and it's just a 2. So we add $2 and that's 3. And with that we go to Takawemu. It's Takawemu time. Oh boy. The Red Cross attack is free. So the Red Cross attack here because there's no planes adjacent. Notice here that the plane here in Harar is not adjacent. Otherwise it would provide support here. Yeah, it's $1. They use the minimum amount necessary. Okay, so here with the black shirts, we get like another bite of the apple. But here we need a 6 to eliminate the tank. This is like, this is tough. And then you got that army in Diredawa to deal with. It's adjacent. We don't have a lot of money. We do have our 3 Mehal Sefari attack points here. We have those 3 and we may have to use them. We don't want Addis to fall so soon, I suppose. Okay, so let's do our Red Cross attack. It's free, it doesn't cost any money. We roll 1d6 and there's gonna be a -1. Here we go. And 6 minus 1, 5. So it defeats the army, but the tank leaves. So the tank is destroyed again. This is incredible. It's the only result that could do that. There's a -1 there. Jesus Christ. Can't believe that. But that was a Red Cross attack. And it only happens once. Now we have to pay for any other attacks. Still have to roll a 6 there. Okay, so I guess this one's going to be tough to push back with that poison gas plane. But, so we're going to have to use the Arbenyuk here. Going to have to burn him. We have the option of destroying the plane or pushing the fascist rule back. Because that is destroying the plane, we'll have the fascist rule advance. I think we'll push the fascist rule back. Man, let's see one thing here. Yep, you can use an Arbenyuk to retreat a fascist rule tile along with the plane present with it, and it flips the plane. Okay, so we will use the Arbenyuk partisan. We take him and place him 2 turns from now. Okay, so we're here, so it's 1 and 2. That retreats the fascist rule to Dagabur, and the plane is flipped. So now Dire Dawa doesn't have air support. So now we can attack Dire Dawa. We're going to attack Dire Dawa. We got $3 left. We could build a partisan. Yeah, Haile Selassie is in London watching on TV. Okay. Yeah, do I want to spend, or do I spend one of the extras and leave the 3? But we still have to push back that Italian army. We'll have to spend the money for this one. Let's try to push Dire Dawa, the Libyan corps, back. For that, we have to spend $1. We got 2 left. And we need higher than 3. Here we go. And it's a 4. So it goes back to Harar. Man, Ethiopians are resilient. So we got 2 left to deal with the B army there, First Corps. And we have, of course, our 3 extra attacks. We need 6s. There's nothing. Oh, we got the partisan there. Wait a second. What can we do with the partisan? I don't think there's much we can do with the partisan. There's no plane. Fascist rule will go back by 1. That's all they do anyway. I know they can stop and advance. The partisans can also stop and advance. They can stop a what do you call it? A fast advance. I'm not going to use the partisan. Let's spend $1. See if we can. And with the black shirts, we get an extra die roll too. So this is going to be tricky here. So let's spend $1. We got 1 left, and we're going to roll. We need a 6. So here we go. And that's a 4, -1, 3. We're going to use the black shirts to re-roll. So this goes to the counter tray. So we're going to re-roll the die. And here we go. And that is a failure. Okay. We got 1 left. You got to use it anyway because we can't save it. We can't build any Arbenyuks with $1. So we're going to use that buck. Spend our last $1. And we need a 6. We roll 1d6. Oh, no. That fails. Down to 0. Thing is, if in the next turn we get a counter there that comes up with a B, the capital falls. And that's going to suck. So we have still 3 Mehal Sefaris. We don't want the capital to fall. Man, we're rolling for a 6. There's no way we can... Oh. A 5 will do. You know why a 5 will do? Because if we tie, we can use this to break the tie. So a 5 will do. We haven't rolled a 5 yet. Okay, so have that in mind. Let's spend 1 Mehal Sefari point, and because this is unusual, we'll do it live here. Here we go. Spend 1 Mehal Sefari point, and we got 2 left. That gives us another attack, another shot. Here we go. We roll 1d6, and a 6. Yes. 6 minus 1. We didn't have to use the Imperial Guard. Is 5. So yes, the army is pushed back with Badoglio and his mother and everybody to Amba Alagi. Man, our resources are dwindling. And that's it. That's it for the, what do you call it, Weba Kabuna, whatever. And we go to turn end. Can't build Arbenioc banking, nothing to bank, disband. Arbenioc cancel the military event. Okay. Cancel the military event. Move the Red Cross. Red Cross, I think, gonna stay here in B. I'll flip it from now. Gonna stay there in B. Advance fascist rule. Nope. Let me see. What? Well, yeah. Advance fascist rule advances here. It advances because its fascist rule is not flipped. Now we go to unflipment. Well, this is a situation at the end of turn 12. We're hanging by our fingernails. Wow. I'll take the medal now. Yes, he shouldn't have gone. He left too soon. Okay, so let's go to the next turn. Turn 13, early June 1936. And we go to the first phase, which is pull a chit from the cup. We're getting reinforcements this turn. So we pull the chit, and it is another one of these special codes. Red Sea Storms. Okay, so we place it here. And we go to the next step, which is deploy units from the current turn box. Yes, there's 2 units. Ras Imru, which is our A track. Ras and Mulugeta, who had been in the penalty box for 5 turns. We place them here. And things are going well for the Ethiopians. I don't know. I don't think that's Ethiopian music, but close. Okay, so that's the units. Red event. There's no event. That box. Exile the Emperor. Oh, no, that already was past. Military event. Okay, so we got the military events. This is turn 13. Bring in the table and add 13. That's a 17 Badoglio. Again, you can't believe that. So we get Badoglio, so that means we place this stinking -1 in B here. Bam! Getting tough. Well, that's Badoglio. Next, political events. Bring the table. And we roll 1d6 and add 13. Plus 4, 17. Uh-oh. Fast column A, Black Lions, Western Gallic Confederation, and Yugoslavia. That's 17. Let's take a look at that. We got fast column A, which is how many spaces away from Addis? 2. Black Lions, in case Addis falls, we can use that. Black Lions is very risky, gives us resources, but we have to push out all armies from Addis or we lose the game. Western Gallic Confederation, no Ras attacks this turn, and conventional attacks cost $2. I don't like the sound of that. Yugoslavia, flip the Italian diplomat in Geneva and move him to your news box. Okay, let's start with the first one. Fast column A. So this is like one of the exciting parts of the game, where he's actually 3 spaces away. 1, 2, 3 from Addis. So we move the Italian, attack with no modification. If we push him back, it ends, and that track cannot be subject of a fast column event again. If we fail, he moves to the next space, and we rinse and repeat until we beat him or Addis falls, whatever happens first. So the second corps advances into the Blue Nile, and we roll an unmodified 1d6, and yes, a 6. So that is successful, and that corps goes back to Gondar. It is not flipped. And this event cannot happen again. The A, see if I can find it here somewhere. I got it. So here it is. Fast column A. The really scary one is fast column B. It's the toughest army. Okay, so we survived that. Black Lions, if the player has any Ras in the tent, we can launch a Black Lions offensive, place the Black Lions tile in Addis Ababa. Well, the Black Lions tile starts here in the counter tray. We place it in Addis Ababa until we launch, if we want to. It's not mandatory, a Black Lions offensive. We have to have Ras to do that. And every time you launch a Black Lions offensive, you have to withdraw. Remove a Ras. He's not killed for purposes of victory conditions. You know, if you get all your Rases killed, that's the end of the game. That's another way you lose this game. Okay, so that is that. Western Gallic Confederation. This I'm going to place the card on the board. No Ras attacks. Oh, no Ras attacks in Shiwa this turn. Okay, we're not in Shiwa yet. The game hasn't moved to Shiwa. It moves to Shiwa. Once Addis falls, the armies can continue moving into Shiwa. Okay, so I'm putting the card there. And attacks cost $2, not 1. That applies. So that has an effect. Yugoslavia, flip the Italian diplomat in Geneva and move him to the unused diplomat box. He'll return when he is unflipped and a briefcase event occurs. Okay, so we flip the Italian diplomat and we move him to the unused diplomat box. He has the whole frat house for himself there. Okay, and those were the events for 1718. Political events. Move the Italian armies depending on the chit. No, doesn't apply because we have, Red Sea storms now applies. Let's take a look at what that entails. That's one of the 4 special codes. Let's see storms. Lower Maria Teresa dollars to 0. Well, I have 0. No planes fly this turn. I like the sound of that. That is great. No planes fly this turn. Man, can't believe that. Okay. No planes fly this turn. Said it 3 times. I'll remember it. Okay. So, look, it says, move Italian armies. Beware, special codes take precedence. So there's no Italian armies to move. And that's C11.1, when an Italian army first enters Aba. The instant it enters, then the things change. We don't get a chance to push them back. No planes from the sky box. There's no plane icons on the chit. Same thing with diplomats. Make additional Duce moves. There's no Duce moves here because there's a special code. And the next turn, there may be a die roll because the next to last was a special code. Cheatet, here we roll. And there's only 1 diplomat there. We're going to get sanction. Come on, we need something good here. 5 minus 1 for sanctions is 4. Okay, so let's add 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Conventional attacks cost 2 this turn. So that's Cheatet. Takawemu. Well, there's no advances, right? We always have the Red Cross has a free attack. But that attack will have a -1. There's no planes. I like the idea of pushing the fascists. We could use the partisans. We got partisans we can use in B. There's no planes this turn. Even if the plane that you see there doesn't work. The thing is, you have there, let me get this out of the way. You have a Rocafort there. We can't attack the army directly. Another Rocafort there. We can't attack the army. We got Rocaforts everywhere. So to break the Rocaforts, we either use partisans or we use our races, but the Ras attacks, we can't do Ras attacks in Shiwa. So we can do them everywhere else. And we have our 4 Rases. So let's think this over. Damtin, welcome. We've taken our time here, but everything is good so far. Okay, so the most we can do is 2 attacks. So we may want to use the partisans and or the Ras in the places we want to attack. The question is, where do we want to attack? Because track B is 1, 2 moves from Addis. Track C is also 1, 2 moves. And Gondar is 3 moves. This is 3 moves from Addis. So A is not as pressing. Now we have Graziani is 3 moves. So I think we want to be attacking B and C. Problem in B is this -1. Makes it extremely difficult. Now we got partisans in B and C. No, we don't have in C though. Interesting. In C, the partisan costs 3, which then we wouldn't be able to attack B. I think and the boy. This is tricky. This is tricky. So we do have the Red Cross attack. We can do that. No, we can't because this is Rocafort. So the Red Cross is all for naught. This is Rocafort. They're all Rocaforts. We have to push this back. Okay, so we're going to use the Ras Mulugeta in B to push this fascist rule back. Okay, that is what is called in the game, call it subvert fascist rule. We need anything but a 1 or a 6. We could use the Ethiopian Air Force. We don't. So here we go. We roll 1d6 and is a 1. It fails. He doesn't get killed. If it would have been a 6, he would have been killed. It fails. And the good thing is, that he's back in the next turn. The 1, you place him 1 space ahead. So he's back in the next turn. Spent our RAS there. We would have to burn the partisan. Look how this works. Burn the partisan to clear an attack by the Red Cross. We got to do it because we got to use that Red Cross. So I'm going to burn the partisan here. The partisan is going to do sabotage, or spying. It's called spying. So he goes to the track 2 turns from now. He'll be back. So we place him 1 and 2. There's a lot of options. I'm really very impressed with the game. It's a well done gun. So it's 2 ahead, and now fascist rule goes back 1 space. If it had a plane on it, it would be flipped, but there's no plane on it. So now the army is alone, and we can attack it. And we're going to attack with the Red Cross, which is free. Okay. So we need a 6 to defeat it. If we roll a 5 minus 4, it's a tie, and then we can burn our Soul Imperial Guard to win. And I'm inclined to use it because that army is a killer. So let's roll 1d6, and it is a 3. So that is a failure, and we flip the Red Cross. Still got $4 left. You can only save 1. So you like the game, Brian, huh? Definitely getting the game. Yep. Okay, so let's see here. If I pull off this attack, I still have $3 to build a partisan in A or D. The D partisan costs 2. Okay, so let's burn $1 here. We got 3 left. Oh no, wait. The tax costs 2. We got 2 left. Yeah, that's because Western Gala Confederation attacks cost 2. So we're attacking here. Yeah, won't be able to do the partisans in C. Still do the ones in D. So here we go again against the First Corps. We roll 1d6. Aha, almost 3. So that's a failure. So we can do 1 more attack, or place a partisan here in Gorrahe. Thing is, yeah, the attack is really 33%. And 33% burning the Imperial Guard. The partisan will give some headaches there, back there to Graziani whenever he moves. But we're going to have the fascist rule advancing here. And then, I don't know how many double moves. There's double moves in those counters sometimes. Yeah, let's give it another shot to the attack. I'm going to spend the $2 I have left for a last-ditch attack here at Amba Alagi with a -1. Here we go. And the roll is a 5, -1, 4. It ties. And now we use our last Kebur Savanya Imperial Guard point. We're down to 0. Let's also denote that here. We're down to 0, so we win that battle. at the cost of our last Imperial Guard point. So that means that the first corps goes back to Makale. Man, sweating bullets here. Well, we don't have no more money. Do we want to use, we have races in D, C, and A, with which we could, in C, we could push back this, yeah, we could use the ras here in C, ras nasibu, to push him back, to push the, not the army, the fascist, what do you call it then? The fascist rule marker back, yeah. Yeah, anything that will set their timetable back. Okay, we're gonna do another. It's called subvert fascist rule. We need 2 through 5 to subvert fascist rule. We can't attack the army because that's a Rocafort. So we need 2 through 5. And here we go. And it's a 3, we'll take it. Great. So it subverts fascist rule. It goes back to Dagabur. Now Nasibu, we have to place him on the turn track 3 turns ahead. So 1, 2, and he comes back on turn 16. Okay. Yeah, but you know why that wasn't a good move? Because now in the fascist rule, he's going to advance anyway. Yeah, that was not a good move at all. Don't do that when you, Brian, when you purchase the game. Don't do that unless you have a partisan here and you can push it back one more space, because now in the fascist rule, he's going to advance there again. I'm going to leave it like that. The Ethiopians also sometimes have bad generals. Yeah. And I did that last turn. I should have known that. Yeah. Yeah, no use in pushing back fascist rule here because he's going to advance there. Yeah. So no use in pushing fascist rule using the Russes right now. Okay, no more money. That's the end of that phase. Build Arbenyak, we don't have any money, nothing to bank. Cancel the military event. It's been canceled. Move the Red Cross hospital. Here's the Red Cross. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Gonna move it here. The C. Advance fascist rule. Now fascist rule advances. Okay, this event ran its course. Anywhere else where it advances? Nope. Not in the north. Unflipment. Okay, so we unflip the first corps here. And that's it. End of the turn. And we go to the last turn of today. Turn 14, late June 1936. A sequel game, the 41 campaign. Yeah, that'd be good like for a magazine kind of edition. The 41. Okay, so here we go. Random chit. Here we go. Now we're going to have the situation with the Duce. We're going to have to roll. Here we have our chit for this turn. Ah, it's a lot of letters. I don't like it. And we place it there. Okay, we've placed it. Now we go to the next step. Deploy the units from the box. We got the partisans from C and Rasmulugeta, who had a failure in the last turn. So we place Madison here and Mulugeta also. Pretty crowded there. That's good. Okay, so now we go to the next phase. Red event. There's no event there. There'll be one in turn 15, first turn of the next session. Now we go to military events. We had 14 now. Let's go to military events. Bring the table at 14. That is 1 plus 14, 15. Rhineland crisis. Okay, so Rhineland crisis, -1 in space F. Okay, at least it's not space B. Yeah. Not going to be the turn to bring diplomats, probably this turn. Now we go to political events. Second, let me get this out. Political events. We bring the table and add 14. Here we go. Fifth. It's not political. Wait. It's 15, but that's the wrong table. Let me get this out of the way. It's 15, the political event. $15 total, right? Black churches, black shirts, and tanks. Black churches, black shirts, tanks. Okay. So let's bring the political events. Black churches gives us $1. We add that. Next one is black shirts. So let's take the marker, which is in the counter tray. We can place it on any Italian army. Which army are we going to place it? Well, which one's moving? A, B, and D. B is 3 away, A is 3 away, and D is 3 away. They're all 3 away. But which is the toughest one to push back is B. I'm going to leave it in B. We're going to need it against B because we have the red cross against C. Place it here in B. Next, the tanks. Here we go. We roll to see where the tanks appear. And it's 3 in C. Huh. Interesting. C gets the tanks. Rocafort and tanks. And they're advancing. Okay. What else? That's it. So that was military events. That was political events, actually. Now we move the armies on paths A, B, and D. Okay. Start with A. The army is at Gondar, so it now advances into the Blue Nile. And the army at Mekale, right? What do you say that? Makale. The army at Makale moves to Amba Alagi. And A, B, and D. Yep. Graziani is finally woken up. And he is moving into Virga Alem. We have only $1. Movement of 3 Italian armies. Deploy strongest Italian plane, no plane, and no briefcase either. So we skip this and this. And by the way, the Italian diplomat in the news diplomat box is now flipped up. And make additional Duce moves. Here is the situation I was talking to you about. The rules state that when the prior event is a special code, we have to roll a die. On a 1, 2, 3, 4, it will be A, B, C, D respectively. 5, it will be skies above, and 6, Geneva. And then we'll see if it matches. Here it only matches if there's a 2. So we roll a die. And it's a 6, so it's a no match. Imagine B moving, an extra move. It's not good. Okay, so that was Duce moves. Now we roll for Maria Teresa dollars. Only one diplomat, the Italian one, so we're going to get sanctioned most likely. Oh, we don't get sanctioned. We only get $1. Man. We got 2. Not good. Okay. Now, Takawemu. Okay, Takawemu. We got 3 Rasses. We have 1. No, we don't have any partisans on the map. There's no planes. Man. These planes here. We'll have a free Red Cross attack. The question is, do we use an Ehrlichon gun? We got 2 left. A good chance of shooting down that plane. But Graziani's the other one who has. Let me see. We got. I like to save the Ehrlichon guns. We have a RAS for track. No, we don't have the RAS for track C to push that base back. Huh. Yeah. So we have to push this back with a RAS, and we can't because this is a Rocafort. So we can't attack there. Can't use the RAS. The RAS is not there. That's a pity. That's a pity. We can't use that. Okay. So the Red Cross can't attack. We have no way of pushing that fascist rule marker back. So we'll have to concentrate here against B and against A. B is always good to push back. It's going to cost Mula. And that's higher than 4. Graziani has the plane here. Let's give it a shot with B, because B is always dangerous. So we spend. Oh, we got the RAS, right, for B? We got the RAS for B. Yeah, but that we got the black shirts for B. Okay, now let's do a regular attack. Regular attack for B. Yep. Okay, here we go. We're going to spend $1. Do a regular attack against B. Roll 1d6. And that's a failure. We're going to use the black shirts to re-roll that die. Here we go. We roll 1d6. You see, it doesn't want to roll. We roll 1d6. There we go. And it's a 6. So that is a success. Clear the die. And that goes back to Macale. Okay, we got $1 left. We still got RASes for D, B, and A. Okay, A could use the RAS to push back fascist rule. Yeah, let's push back the army first. That army is 3 away. Let me see. This one is 1, 2, 3, and this one has gas. This one has the tank. I think we have to use. We have to go against this. Oh, this one has. You can't use this one. No, it's a Rocafort. It has to be A. A it is. We spend our last $1 to attack A. And this is just 1 die roll, and we have to roll higher than the enemy. That's a 2, so that's a fail. We have no more dollars. We have our RASes. I'd rather keep the RAS in A. We have the RAS in D. Ras and D could push back this plane. Yeah. I'm going to use the Ras and D to do that. We're going to push back the base here, fascist rule. And that doesn't cost anything. Let me bring the... we need for success 2, 3, 4, and 5 to push the fascist rule marker back. On a 1 or 6, we fail. On a 6, the Ras gets killed. This is Ras Desta. Here we go. And it succeeds, but Desta will take 5 turns to come back. So the fascist rule tile is pushed back to Gorrahe, and we take Desta and place him 5 turns from now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we still have Ras in B and A. And we're getting a Ras in 2 turns. I could push that fascist rule, but yeah, I'd rather save them. 1 in C and nothing I can do with C. I don't have money for a partisan. That's the only thing that worries me. C. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna use those Rases now. I wanna save them. So that's it. We're going now to the last phase. Build Arbenyak. We can't. Nothing to bank. Cancel the military event. That was here, the diplomats. This is canceled. Oops. Move the Red Cross Hospital. I think it's going to stay right there. C is the threat, and the tank and the poison gas plane. Advance fascist rule. It advances in A. Fascist rule advances here into the Blue Nile. And it also advances in D to Negele Boran. It also only advances 1 space. Unflipment. Okay, so we unflip the army here in B. That's the second corps. And that is the end of the turn 14. We're at turn 14. And that's where we will leave it for today. I think they're doing great. Never had this die rolling in a long time. So we can see that for the next few turns, we're getting partisans, Ras Nasibu, Ras Desta, and the Spanish Civil War is an event that comes with a roll of 25-26. It's still going to take a little while. Here you see the events that can happen. Sosa Gold is good. So we're in turn 14. 15, the only thing we can get is fast column A. That fast column A already happened, so the days of the fast columns are gone. So I think we're all right. We're all right for now. So I will leave it there for now. And I don't know, let's see if they do a sequel. So this is all for now. I'll be tomorrow at this same time, 6 p.m. What do you call it? This is Atlantic. And we'll continue for turns 15 to 21. 7 more turns. Okay? You're going to have lunch with the actor director of Wargaming for our people here. Okay. Thanks, Pete. So thanks to everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. And thanks for watching. Take care, folks.